Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at Flysimware's brand new Lancair Legacy from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And this one is a little different from your typical GA aircraft. This is not your slow Sunday cruiser. The Lancair Legacy is a sleek, high-performance experimental aircraft built around speed, efficiency, and giving you that sports car feeling in the sky. Flysimware has done a great job with packing this thing with multiple variants, turbocharged and naturally aspirated options, working titles G3X, GTN 750 support, custom systems, maintenance, failures, wear, tear, dirt, rain, icing, ground equipment, and a whole lot more. Now, it is also very important to say right up front that this aircraft is currently in a beta release, so the analog panel is not yet included, and there may still be some tuning and bugs and fixes coming, but even in a beta, there's a lot here to dig into. So today, we're going to take a look at what Flysimware has built, what makes this aircraft interesting, and what features are included. And this will also hopefully help you determine whether the Lancair Legacy is the next Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 aircraft that needs to be in your hangar. Stick around. One app designed to do it all. Hangar Control brings everything together. Control bindings, hardware configuration, mod and profile management, application launching, add-ons, config files, and more, all managed from a single application. Mods Hangar goes beyond just mods and add-ons. It manages profiles, config files, text files, backups, snapshots, and helps keep your community folders clean and organized. Application Hangar launches your entire sim stack with a single click. Your Stream Decks are fully controlled through the Hangar Control plugin, while all of your other Stream Deck plugins remain active and available. Built by a simmer for simmers, Hangar Control adds new features and hardware support every week based on community feedback. It's a one-time purchase with lifetime updates, no subscriptions. You can try it for free for 5 days with no restrictions at overkillsimulations.com. Just create an account, head to your account page, download the latest version, and get started. And if you're looking for in-depth Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft tutorials, check out my Patreon site. Links to Hangar Control and Patreon are down in the description below. Alright, so here's the game plan for today's video. First, we're going to do a quick walk around Flysimware's Lancair Legacy and take a look at the exterior modeling, the pre-flight equipment, and some of the interactive details that Flysimware has included. After that, we're going to jump into Hangar Control and get our primary flight controls bound for this aircraft. Now, currently the documentation for any specific bindings is not available. That I believe that is being worked through as we speak, so it may require a little bit of digging in order to get all of our controls bound and where they need to be, but we'll see. It may also just use the standard SimConnect events, and it should be pretty easy at that point. Then once we have the aircraft set up, we are going to take it around and fly out of here at Ryan Airfield near Tucson, Arizona, and get it airborne. And see what this high-performance experimental aircraft actually feels like in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So here on the outside, this is where the Lancair Legacy immediately starts to stand out. This is a very sleek, fast-looking aircraft. It's a two-seat, high-performance, single-piston with composite airframe and retractable landing gear. It has that unmistakable experimental look into the aircraft, especially when you go down its lines, looking there from the side. Flysimware has modeled the aircraft with full 4K PBR textures, so as we move around the outside of the aircraft, pay attention to the way the paint, reflections, panel lines, and material surfaces react to the lighting. This is also an MS 2024 aircraft, so it's taking full advantage of the newer visual environmental features that come with 2024. Now, one of the first things you'll notice as we do our walk around is the ground equipment and pre-flight items. So right now, fairly simple. We have our engine covers, we have wheel chocks, and of course we have the pitot cover. So very simple stuff when it comes to that at the moment. I don't know if there's any further equipment that's being planned around, but hey, it's always fun to make sure we get those things off before we go up and fly. And then moving around the aircraft, as we saw, there's protective covers, plugs. Flysimware has specifically mentioned engine plugs and that the pitot covers are part of the pre-flight setup. So it's not just a static airplane sitting on the ramp. The idea here is that the aircraft is being treated more like something that you actually own, inspect, and service and prepare before each flight. So I'm kind of curious if there's more to that that's going to be coming along down the line as we get further into the development of this aircraft. Another exterior detail worth pointing out is environmental wear. Flysimware has modeled dirt, dust, mud effects, and depending on the surface conditions will determine which one of those or all of those clutter your aircraft beauty. So if you are operating off a dirt field, wet surfaces, or less imperfect ramps, the aircraft can visually reflect that. Rain is also going to help clean the aircraft a bit depending on the weather intensity and aircraft movement, which ties into the larger maintenance system. Coming up close to the windshield here, the windshield gets the rain effects, exterior icing effect, surface rain effects, and windshield bloom effects. So visually, this should change based on the environment and not just when you're sitting here looking at a perfectly clean window all the time. Tires, same game. We should be experiencing basically the same thing as time goes on with tires. Flysimware mentions detailed tires with visible sidewall bulging and animated rolling deformation. That is one of those small little details that may play a huge part in the immersion, though it's not immediately noticeable. It's something that you're going to catch as you manipulate the aircraft more and more from the outside, and you can certainly see some of that happening right here. So they've really put a lot of detail into the smaller details that people probably don't usually even think about, and that can add a lot of quality to the aircraft. And that brings us to one of the biggest features of this entire package, which is Flysimware's TrueSim technology. This system is designed to handle a deeper engine behavior, fuel system logic, failures, maintenance, and wear over time. So the walk-around is not just eye candy, it's part of this larger idea that the aircraft has a condition. It can get dirty, parts can wear, systems can fail, and you actually need to maintain it. Ground service is also expanded beyond the basic default simulated behavior. Flysimware mentions interactive fueling and GPU-related ground support behavior. So while we are parked and getting ready, this aircraft has a lot more going on than just a cold and dark start engine, go and fly state, right? So this is pretty freaking awesome. The next thing to take into consideration as we get ready to start binding the controls is the nose wheel setup. The real Lancair Legacy uses a free castering nose wheel, which means that the steering on the ground is handled through differential braking and rudder pedal hardware. So Flysimware includes realistic castering nose wheel variants, but they also include steering enabled variants for users who either do not have toe brakes or just want a simpler ground handling experience. That is something we'll want to keep in mind whenever we're binding our controls and setting up the aircraft the way we want. Now, today we're going to be doing rudder pedals with toe brakes, so we'll be leaving it in the ground castering format or free castering format, and just learn how to taxi this aircraft. So the long story short is, for this walk around, obviously this is the first time loading into the aircraft. We don't have a whole lot to worry about here. There isn't any wear and tear and things like that's going to happen because the aircraft hasn't done anything yet. But the big takeaway here is that they are trying to give us a full pre-flight and ownership experience. Chocks, pitot covers, engine plugs, removable nacelles, control surface checks, yada, yada, yada. So let's start diving into some of that here and let's see what we got. Okay, so we can rotate our engine. We're just going to sort of make our way around. Obviously, there's our chocks. Whoa, what was that? Interesting that the chocks. Oh, show or hide. There we go. I see what they did here. So when the chocks are enabled, you have access to the ground servicing, engine servicing. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. And then if you remove the chocks, everything is automatically put back on, so you don't have to worry about if you forgot to do something. There's our pitot cover again. I'm just looking for any hot spots. Like I said, there isn't much in the form of documentation at the moment. Fuel supply check. tank check, I should say. Flight control check. That trim tab. That'll get us inside the aircraft. We're not ready to do that yet. Elevator control. Definitely easier to handle from back here. I like the smooth action while you're doing it though. It's really nice. Checking all sides here. Screws are all in. Right tank check. And this is just from a preliminary exploration of the aircraft, right? We haven't actually, like I said, got the documentation for this yet. That's all still part of the aileron. It looks like that's just the nose wheel chock. I was curious if we could see anything else moving in there or not. Any other click points or hot spots we're looking for here? Doesn't look like it. Alright. Let's get the nacelle cover back on. Let's remove that nose wheel chock. And it looks like we are ready to climb in the aircraft. Now, I may have missed a few things. Time will tell. But so far, very, very nice. Let's hop in. Oh, look at that. Raise the canopy. Never mind. You can jump right in. Cool. Looks gorgeous with the canopy. Look at that. Thing looks wicked. I love vertical raising canopies. I think they're so cool. Now, and there we go. Canopy switch light. There we go. Wow. I don't know why, but that like impressed me. I really enjoyed that. Now, let's see here. And there's the close. I feel like I need to move. All right. Very cool stuff. All right. So let's take that back down to the off position. Let's check all of our controls here. Wow. Cool lighting. Alternators are all on. I'm turning everything off on purpose. Just sort of want to get a feel for myself. Oh, that just flips that on automatically. Cool, cool. Check, 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 check. Oil cooler. Vents. Gotta stay cool, especially out here at Ryan Field. It's been hot last few days, man. Hot and windy. Hot, windy, and pissy. Like, it's just been crap. I don't know what that does. Huh. Not sure what that does. Fuel selector. Looks like we just have right, left, and off. Okay. So we'll start with the right tank here. All right. Now let's get our basic flight controls. And again, it may just require the normal stuff. All right, so I've made sure to disable all of my controls inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we've launched hangar control. Now, we're going to switch over to the Microsoft Flight Simulator profile, and we have our single simple, which this aircraft, I believe, is not. It is a complex aircraft, so let's see what we got here. Well, it looks like we're going to need a single complex. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to duplicate this profile here. And let's call this single complex. And there we go. Okay, and let's see what we got. So we're going to start that guy up. I'm going to make sure to get my touch panel up and running. There we go. So we got that. And I have this up on my iPad. You don't have to have it on both. I just figured I'd show you guys what it looks like. But let's go ahead and get that out of the way for a second. And save, close, boom. All right. And let's check controls. Left is looking good. Rudder pedals are good. Let's check our... We need prop. So let's come in here. Go to our axis. Let's see, we're going to take this one down. This one's working. That one's down. Throttle's good to go. So let's use this one here. We're just going to add browse. Oh, no, we're under DCS commands. We don't want that. we want SimConnect. Thank you for driving right through my plane. Let's set that as default. And let's see what we got here. SimConnect, pick. And we're going to look for essentials. And let's just find our pitch. Prop pitch set. Save. Perfect. All right, we're good to go. Okie doke. So then we're just going to make sure the service is started. It is. I'm going to get that out of the way. And we are ready to start working through this aircraft. Now, like I said, I do not have any official documentation for this plane as of yet. So we're just going to wing it from what we already know about these types of aircraft, right? So obviously we want our mixture set to full rich. We want our prop to full forward. Engine is off, or engine throttle's off. We're going to crack that just a little bit here. And let's see here. Ram air. Looks like it is. Oh. Well, let's see if we can find that, because it looks like that's going to be something that we're going to need. So let's go and find that one. So, back to our axis, and let's use the other pitch control here. Now this could be an LVAR. Let's see if we have any LVARs here for this aircraft. Doesn't look like... Oh, essentials off. Look at that! I'm going to say it is likely this one, so we're going to check that. We're going to see what happens. We want to use the axis value. Let's do this. You do that. Let's go back to hangar control here. That is definitely it. I saw it move. Okay, so let's go to axis value. And we're going to try it with the default first. It really just depends on what its maximum is. So let's actually set the value at 100. I'm kind of curious. And execute. Boom! Now let me set it to 90 just as another test. What we're testing is the range. How the LVAR is actually built. Yep, that is it. So minimum value is 0. Maximum value is 100. We're going to hit save and close. And when we move our axis, we should... Boom! How about that? We are ready to roll. All right, I think that's really the only thing that I'm particularly concerned with. Is there anything else that I need to be aware of? We have access, we have our toe brakes, we have our rudder pedals. The oil cooler is way over there, but I don't know when we would use that. And I actually don't see a way to manipulate that. Oh, there it goes. Huh, it's a little weird to move, so let's find that. Let's go ahead and come back over here. Go to axis, and let's use, I guess, this one here. So we're going to take this one. What is this set to? Oh, that's for my black square. Let's clear that. That was for testing. Let's go pick, and let's do something else here. I'm going to say it's likely an LVAR again. And look at that. Generic oil cooler. I can almost guarantee that's it. So let's hit OK. Current value, 85. So we already know that's 0 to 100. Use our axis range, 0 to 100. Hit save again, and voila. We got it. Cool. Easy stuff, right? All right. Hangar control. Take a hike for now. Let's see what we got. So let's do some of our basics here. Let's see what we got. We got landing lights, fuel pump, yaw trim, flaps. Make sure we have flap control here. Although that is probably because it's electric switch. All right. I'm looking for any other lighting systems I need to be aware of. I thought there was something on the canopy. Am I missing that? Maybe I'm tripping. It's always possible. Parking brake. Oh, there's my nav lights and strobe lights. Okay, we'll turn those on. Parking brake toggle. Let me check it again. Good. All right, I already have that bound, so it's using a lot of the basic SimConnect stuff. Canopy lights. Ooh, pretty. It's Christmas. All right, so now let's take a look at the tablet. And you open up the tablet by simply just clicking on the mount that's right here on the window behind it. So let's see what we got here. Ground power unit. Here's where we get all of our ground stuff if we want. Here's where we can open and close the door or the canopy. I don't know why they call it a cabin door. Click right there on the latch system. Doors closed. Canopy light, you can turn those on and off. Cabin lights, luggage light, etc. So let's turn all those off. We don't need those. Tips, generator off, parking brake on. Let's make sure our parking brake is set. Can't remember if I played with it. Oh, geez, right there. Yep, we're good. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see what we got for the fuel page. Call truck. Oh, wow. We'll go outside and see that here in just a second here. And let's just go start refueling, Let's go see. Look at that. Little graphical issue there, but that's all right. Not sure where that one's going. Probably coming from the same truck, but that's okay. It's a beta. Still neat idea. And it is literally fueling. That is cool. Just re-click those to stop the fueling. Let's go back. Maintenance page. What do we got? Maintenance is currently turned off. Go to the Flysimware options page to enable maintenance mode. Wow, though, look at this. There's a lot here. You can wash the aircraft. Ha! Neat. Let's go back. Failure page. Failure page is currently turned off. Quite a lot to go through here. Options page. Here we go. Headset filter on or off. We're going to actually leave that off for now so that way we can hear it in its full love, if you will. And save state reset. So you can, if you save it in a state that's bad, you can always just reset it so it starts at its default condition. Pretty cool. Just hit the power button. There's that mount I was telling you about. Click on that to open the tablet. All right. Let's get the aircraft fired up here. So, there we go. Avionics master. E-bus. Landing lights, pulse lights. Cool. Nav lights and strobe lights. So basically your beacons. Parking brakes already set. Fuel set to the left tank. Prop and mixture are up. Very cool. Oh, and before we get going, it's dawned on me, we still have the fueling truck here. So let's go to our fuel page and end fuel service. There we go. And then hit that power button up there. There we are. All right, continue there. Continue here. Good stuff. It still shows the canopy is open. Oh, how did my plugs get reinstalled? I thought I took those out. When did I do that? All right, well, there we go. Get those out of there. Let's come back in. All right, still shows an open canopy. So I'm a little concerned about that. Let's bring that back up. There's the latch. I'm going to find out what that click spot is. Interesting. Because I know clicking there will open it. So, is there another spot we're missing? Just want to see if there's a quick click spot. Huh. All right. Well, anyway, good to go. Warning lights are off. Let's fire this thing up here. Okay. So, first things first. I'll make sure I have my stuff ready to roll. All right. Mixture set, fuel set, throttle set, parking brake is set. Comms, we're not going to worry about too much today. We don't have a GTN 750 in this particular build, so we're just going to leave that as is. Altimeter. What was that? Huh, I don't know what that was. That's interesting. All right, and let's grab that magneto. And I think we're good to go. We're going to crack the throttle a little bit and let's see what happens when we start it up. Easy start. Couldn't ask for more than that. Landing gear 3 green. Trim services, autopilot services, MFD reverse mode, comms nav 1, alternate static air source is off, 12 circuit bus fuse, oxygen supply, that's emergency oxygen, we don't need that, at least I hope we don't need that. Air conditioning, absolutely. Pitot heats, canopy seal pump. Cool. Pitot heat left. Speed brake. Oh, that is so dope. Alright, I think we're in a position where we can comfortably taxi. So I'm going to get the head tracker turned on and we're going to get rolling and go and fly this bird. Okay, using our touch panel in hangar control, let's turn our transponder on. There we go, looking good. Make sure to switch that to altitude reporting when time comes. Taxi lights for landing lights. And parking brake. Go out to the left here. We'll start with the right and we'll bring it back around. Brake check. Right toe brake. That is my flight school. Low voltage, probably because I got the RPMs too low. Definitely a peppy little aircraft. Be ready for that. Oh. Ooh. Ground handling will, just like anything else, going to take a bit of practice to get used to. Differential braking is actually used quite often even in your Cessnas though too, so it's really not that bad. Just remember that if you got to add power just like anything else. If you're trying to maintain speed during a turn, you need to add power while you're braking. Otherwise, of course, you're going to slow down. You can stop the aircraft with one wheel. It's just going to turn while you do it. Easy, easy. She really likes... She really likes speed. This is going to be a very fast aircraft. I can already feel it. Slow that down a little bit before we turn it. Add that right toe brake in. A bit of power. So yeah, let it get too slow. Very good. See if we can get a better center line going here. I will say I can't wait for analog gauges. That's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. I prefer the analog aircraft over the glass cockpits. Still really gorgeous done though. This thing does absolutely look like a sports car. Definitely looks like a sports car. Oops, wrong button. Ah, I'm all over the place now. I'm trying to just center my damn camera. That's all I was trying to do, I promise. The sound on it is phenomenal so far. I'm really digging the sound. Alright, here we go. Almost to the end here. Really trying to keep that nose. Oh, getting fast again. Getting fast again. Come on. Alright, switch that transponder over to altitude reporting. There we go. Not going to worry about the run-up today since I don't have all the stats and POH to do so. Easy, slow it down just a little bit, not too much. Clear it on the arrival, clear it on the takeoff. Nice big canopy makes that very easy, doesn't it? Slow down just a bit. There we go. Keep carrying, keep turning. A bit more and hold. Okay, let's switch to our fullest tank. Thought I had my fuel selector swap set up, but apparently I do not. It's okay. Landing lights, strobe lights, check, check, check. Magnetos, we don't need flaps. Oil cooler, we should be good for now. But you know what? I wonder if that's supposed to... You know, we're going to close it. Well, would that be pushed to open? Guess we'll find out. Max power. Once you get some good airflow going, you should be able to steer it with the rudder pedals. There's 50 knots, 60 knots, general rotation here. Ooh, stalled it. Too soon. Too soon. Should have waited for more like 80. Wow, she is touchy. Holy crap. Gear handle is not using the standard command for whatever reason. So there we go. Woo! Let's go outside. Very, very touchy aircraft, as expected. It's meant to be high performance. Man, it looks like a bat out of hell, though, doesn't it? Gorgeous plane. Gorgeous plane. Alright, let's pull some power off. Let's get that prop pitch pulled back just a bit. Wow. So first, sounds are awesome. Behavior is right on point. This thing is fun as hell already. Very touchy, but it's not in a bad way. Like, it's responsive. It's a very responsive, very well built. See if we can go for some more or less level flight. I'm sort of all over the place, I know it. Fast already, cruising 160 knots and continuing. With only 28 inches of manifold pressure and 2,300 RPMs. Oh, and climbing again. Looks beautiful. Now, let's, should we start the chaos? Let's see what happens. I'm not saying this thing's supposed to be a dogfighter, but I'm just having some fun with it. Pull that power off, pull power off. $200 knots already. Very fun little aircraft, guys. Oil temperature is good. Just watching that. Means if we pull that back, sort of watching the oil temp, seeing what it does. We don't want it getting too cold. Wow, look how fast that oil temp is rising. Great modeling there. Like that was like very rapid. Like it just popped right up, man. If we go full prop, full throttle. $186, $187. Open that up a little bit. And down it starts coming. Like it's instant. Cool. Let's come back down about 2300. Neat. This is a fun plane, guys. This is a really great model. Flysimware always does amazing jobs, though. They are wonderful developers. I think their Cessna 414 is still one of my favorite aircraft. Alright, so let's make an absolute debacle of myself. And, you know, there's a couple things I want to check. I want to check a couple things in hangar control. Let's look for a few things here. Let's go to our Bravo throttle quadrant, and that would explain why my gear isn't working, because it's not bound. So let's get that taken care of. We're just going to go to Browse Events and type gear. And let's see here. I believe we picked on the gear up position. Binding lever gear up. And yep, let's go ahead and rinse and repeat for gear down. There it is. Okay, and then I wanted to look for that speed brake button. Okay, so on that speed brake switch, it's a B event. So we did find it, so that was my fault. I filtered to LVARs only, and I should not have done that. So what we're going to do is this one right here. So here's this one. And then we're just going to copy that because it's going to be real easy. Go back to my previous switch position. Paste that in, change it to off, right? Save. Resume. Yeah, that was it. All right. Cool. All right, so now we're ready to land it. Let's go and do it. Start pulling some of that prop back. Any of you boys seen an aircraft carrier around here? I kind of like the vertical speed indicator there on the dash. It's with that red, green. Unless that's my AO. No. That's angle of attack. Sorry, not vertical speed indicator. Could just read the little label that says AOA. Idiot. There's my dum-dum moment. One of many. Alright, so let's see here. Ooh, buddy. It is bouncy up here. I kind of like the speed tape on this one. Looks kind of cool. Let's put it to the test. Here comes that speed brake. I'm being dramatic on purpose here. Look at that, just dumping it, man. Just dumping it. Even at this steep of a dive angle. It just does not care. Okay. That's impressive. It really is. Getting some flaps going though. Gear coming down. Really tight turn. Horrible approach. Horrible approach. Putting that speed brake back out. We're going to see how fast we can just dump it. $100 knots, 90 knots. Oh! Ooh! I expected that to be way worse. Start applying those brakes slowly. Speed brake in. Woo! Okay, so let's all just get it out of our system now. Yes, that was not the approach you would ever want to do on any turns. But I will tell you right now that everything about how I quote-unquote corrected that felt good, awesome, while being intense. It was definitely a scary moment, like it gave me a moment of pause, but the aircraft surprisingly was very forgiving in that situation and far more forgiving than I anticipated it to be. This was a absolute blast of an aircraft to fly. I really enjoyed this aircraft. And like I said, I really cannot wait for the analog version of this. I hope that is something that is coming. I hope that's something that's coming very soon. This is a beautiful aircraft. The flight modeling was just absolutely dead on to me. The turbulence or wind disruption, gosh, I can't talk, was really cool. Had that nice subtle buffets and those nice little bumps and jolts, speed bumps as I like to call them, you know, over the road, over the air, right? But nothing too dramatic to where it felt unrealistic. The flight model performance down on the landing, I truly expected that to go far worse, so it was far more forgiving, and I felt it coming to the float. Like, felt, quote unquote, right? I mean, it's a simulator. But it was a really neat experience. I'm really impressed with this aircraft and what they've done here. Flysimware is just, I mean, he's a badass, you know. The work has always been good. It's always stellar aircraft modeling, stellar texturing design, just really, really good stuff. All the way back to Flight Sim 2020. I've really appreciated his aircraft and designs. So they've done an absolutely wonderful job. I highly recommend it. The sound is phenomenal. The avionics phenomenal. The behavior, the feature list, and we didn't even get into half of it. I mean, no failures, no damage model or anything like that that I enabled. Everything was disabled. So I mean, just think that it would have been far worse had I not done what I did. And well, let me just call it what it is. I shouldn't have walked away from that one. At least not with the landing gear still underneath it. You know what I'm saying? Let's park right here. Let's get something to eat. I need a snack here before we go up and fly this one again, which I am definitely going to do when we are done here. Let's see here. Let's pull this one back. The nice bubble canopy, by the way, is so cool. Magneto's off. Transponder off. There we go. Oil cooler. Leave that back where it was. Check, check. Pitot heat, canopy, air conditioning. Oh, that was fuel pump. Didn't mean to hit that. Off. Working our way left or right to left. We are down for the count. Got our canopy open. Uh-oh, why can't I open the canopy? Let me out. Hey, let me out. It's dark in here. Open. I want out. Please. I know that I'm a menace, but still. Anyway, guys, so here it is once again, the Flysimware Lancair Legacy aircraft. An absolute blast to fly. This thing is incredible, and I think it's going to be far, far better once I get more familiar with the true operations of the aircraft rather than flying it like I just stole someone's moped out of a gas station. Okay, so keep that in mind, of course, but spectacular job. Definitely 10 out of 10 for this aircraft. As always, folks, stay safe and healthy. Let me know what you guys think below. And if you're interested in trying hangar control, overkillsimulations.com.